Welcome, my loves. It's Knowledge Butterfly. As always, sending you guys out peace, blessings, love, and abundance. I'm so really enjoying the sun, like shining bright on me right now, and just enjoying this beautiful day. The wind is blowing, so it's a nice breeze flowing. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this video. First and foremost, I definitely want to um, shout out and send out love to my aunt. She transitioned not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, and we had her celebration of life on Friday, which was the new moon in Virgo. So definitely shout out and send her a whole bunch of love into the spirit world while she's going through her transition and getting used to not being in a form, you know. All right, now I'm going to get into it. This video is about the body being a temple, and first off, we know that in this realm that we're in, which Spirit had revealed to me a while ago, and I've actually heard people like Universal Frequencies say this as well, that we are actually in a dream state, in a dream world. That's I had sung the song "Row, Row, Row Your Boat," and it said, "Row your boat merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream." What they call life is really the dream world. It's not. It only seems to be quote unquote real because they made us buy into the whole physicality of it and only seeing ourselves as humans, as physical beings, no excuse me, no longer seeing ourselves as spiritual beings on the physical experience. You know, we are souls. We, you know, came here to experience these vehicles that we utilize to drive around and to walk around and to utilize the five senses. Number 5, you know, dealing with with Allah, arm, leg, arm, and head. So dealing with the five senses being tied to Allah, the temple of God. So let's go ahead and get into this temple, y'all. So first and foremost, my spirit revealed to me, you know, a little bit of extra sauce when it comes to the temple. Yes, this body is a temple. Yes, you know, the way we treat our bodies really speaks highly of how we think about ourselves. So if we don't love ourselves, we tend to abuse ourselves. Now, I'm not talking about just on a scale of, you know, being an quote-unquote alcoholic or drinking too much. I'm talking about eating excessively, like gluttonous. I'm talking about the things, the way we think about ourselves. So just negative thinking that we're too fat or we're too skinny or that we're ugly, and all these negative things that we think about ourselves. That's what I'm talking about. So that shows how you really and truly feel and think about who you think you are, not who you truly are, who you think you are. All right. So, you know, I'm big on that because coming out of that that whole detrimental way of thinking and that disease and poisonous way of thinking about myself, and so I was manifesting really abusive relationships, and I was manifesting a really unhappy, unbalanced life. And in order to get the most out of this temple, you have got to get your motherfucking mind right. Like, bitch, get your mind right. Reminds me of Master P. I grew up in the no limit shit. All right. But anyways, let me go ahead and get into this temple. So, like I said, this body is the temple of God. We are all gods and goddesses on this physical experience. For those people who haven't got to the point where you understand that God is in you, it's the God in me. It's not the God outside of me. It's the God that's in me. If you haven't gotten to that point yet, you will not actually understand this. However, even if you were magnetized to this video, it's because your soul is yearning for it. Even if you, your conscious mind is like, what the fuck? Your soul is starting to like stir and be like, what the hell is going on? All right. Now, first off, the definition of a temple: it's a building devoted to the worship or regarded as the dwelling place of God or gods or other objects of religious reverence. So it's telling you right now that the temple is the dwelling place of God. Therefore, the body is the dwelling place of God. All right. Now, the etymology of temple is templum, open, which is an open or consecrated space. Consecrated space, and consecrated is means of a church or land having been made or declared sacred. We declare this temple sacred. I actually always knew that that to a certain extent. So, you know, I used to like be very, very mindful of, I used to be, but I still am very, very mindful of who I share my body with. And I'm going to talk about that too, because understanding that sex is a sacred energy exchange. It doesn't mean that, you know, you can only be with somebody if you quote unquote have a contract, have a Saturnian contract and you are married. What it means is that you respect the fact that everybody's vibration don't flow with yours, so you don't allow everybody to enter into your sacred or consecrated space, which is the yoni or the vagina or whatever you want to call it, whatever word you want to call it, your lotus flower bomb, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You don't allow anybody, any and everybody into that sacred space, because you have an understanding that it is a consecrated, holy, sacred space. All right. So like I said, I always understood that to a certain extent, even in my unconscious state. All right. So now I'm going to talk about your temples, which you have the temples on the side of your head. All right. And those temples are the pillars. Think of the pillars like in the Kabbalic tree of life, or the Kabbalistic tree of life. And you have the feminine pillar, you have the masculine pillar, and shout out to Universal Frequencies, because I watched this video today. I hadn't watched any vlogs in a long time. However, I accidentally clicked on his video, and I was like, there's no such thing as an accident. I need to listen to this video. And I listened to his video, and he was talking about the left pillar being the feminine pillar, the right pillar being the masculine pillar, so the left pillar being the pillar of the mother, the right pillar being the pillar of the father, and the middle pillar being the pillar of the child or the son, the soul. And that's why you actually have Tifra. That actually just popped in my head. That's why you have Tifra, the sun, in the center. You actually have the moon in the center. You have Malkuth in the center. And you have, when you think about the Sephira that are in the center, if you are familiar with the Kabbalistic tree of life, you'll know that the first Sephira at the top is Kether, and then you have Doth, which is the getting into the knowledge, is getting into the dark side, which is actually getting into that triple darkness, is going into your dark side, is dealing with your shadow, is doing the shadow work, dealing with your dark side and your dark nature, which emanates your physical reality, your light. In order for your light to be true and authentic, you have to deal with the dark side, and that's a whole nother story, and that's Doth. Then you come down and you come to Tiferet. Tiferet represents the sun. It represents your soul spark, all right? And then you come down further, you have Yesod, and Yesod deals with what? The moon, okay? That's your emotions. And then the last one is Malkuth, and that's dealing with the physical body. That's dealing with the kingdom. Your body is the motherfucking kingdom. It's your kingdom and your queendom, all right? And one thing that just came to mind, so we have Kether, the crown, we have Doth, the knowledge, we have Tifra, the sun, we have Yesod or Yeshad, the moon, and we have Malkuth, the earth, and that's the number 5 right there. And that also ties into Allah, the temple of God. That just literally came to me. So anywho, shout out to Universal Frequencies for that. Bringing up the whole middle pillar being the sun, and the middle pillar is truly the mother and the father coming together, and they're creating the balance. So again, it literally is all about finding the balance in yourself and finding the balance of your own energies in this temple, right? In order for your light to shine outside of this temple. I saw somebody's post on Instagram, and they were saying that even if you don't see your light, other people see it. Other people are magnetized and drawn to your light. And I realized that within myself, because I could literally be somewhere and there can be other people, but I notice that people keep coming closer and closer and closer and closer to me. That's because people are drawn to your light. So when you focus on doing your inner work and focus on healing yourself and balancing your own energies, you draw people into your universe. Well, let me get back into the temple and the pillars. So as I said before, you have temples on the side of your head, and those temples lead you into what? Your pineal gland. And your pineal gland is the gateway into your vision, your sight. It's the gateway into um, um, tapping into your cosmic universe, tapping into your crown chakra, tapping into that energy that is the collective and collective consciousness and the collective unconsciousness. All right, and then the other pillar that we have is your breast. All right, that is the two. All right, that is like the mother and the father. And then I talked about before how the sun, or your heart chakra, that is the home of your soul, of the sun. And so these your breasts are the pillars that lead to the gateway to your heart chakra. All right, and that leads to into kind of lost my train of thought where I was going with that, but basically it's the gateway to your heart chakra, which is the gateway to really what controls your magnetic field, or your auric field. All right, and then the next pillar that I want to talk about are your legs. All right, so if you look at oh, that's what I was going to say real quick before I get into the last pillar I want to talk about. But your heart chakra, being in the center of your breast, is actually like an 8. It makes like a figure 8. And I talked about before the number 8, the center of the number 8 represents the balance. It represents the heart chakra. The number 8 is the first circle is the higher self, the bottom circle is the lower self, and the center is your heart chakra. It's the balance. All right, just like your heart chakra is the balance between all of your chakras, and is the gateway for your lower chakras and the gateway for your higher chakras. All right, and then the last pillar, excuse me, I'm trying to sweat a little bit because it is like 90-some degrees out here, but it's fine. You know, that's moisturization. Is your root chakra. All right, your root chakra. And I want to talk about your root chakra because I normally talk about your sacral chakra and how that is your creativity and all that, and it is. However, what I want to talk about is your root chakra, because your legs are pillars, which if you close your legs, no one can enter your sacred place or enter your root chakra. All right, and your legs form the numbers 11, like the gateway. When you see 1111 on the clock, that means that you have a lot of people, like if you Google, they'll say spiritually, like you've awakened. You know that you are stirring, and you're awakening, or you're opening a portal, you're opening a gateway. You're actually activating some DNA. You're awakening some DNA. All right, but like I said, your legs are pillars that control. If you open them up, you're allowing someone to come into your portal. If you close them, then you're sealing it off, so no one can penetrate or enter your portal, which is your root chakra. And so yeah, that's what I wanted to share. So you got your pillars for your legs, which control who can enter your root chakra. You have the pillars, your breast, who for your heart, and then you have the pillars, your temples on the side of your head, which is the gateway to your pineal gland. So I really wanted to share that information with you guys. I didn't want to take a long time with this video, but I definitely wanted to get this information out, because this had came to me like a week ago. But with my aunt transitioning and everything, and my father going through what he's going through, because this is his third sister that's transitioned, and it and the second one in the past maybe like 7 years or something like that, and he has another sister that's actually 6. So you know, he's going through and dealing with a lot. So I've just been doing, you know, the energy work to keep myself, one, from soaking up any type of negative vibrations, and being able to be a healer for him, versus being taking on his, wherever his energy is. You know, that I'm learning how to set boundaries and protect myself against anybody else's negative vibrations, in order for me to be the light that I'm supposed to be here on this physical plane. All right. But I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning into my channel. For those, if you're new to my channel, you know, this is pretty much what I do. You know, I vlog and I talk about, you know, information that I've downloaded that I want to share with others, if it's information I'm supposed to share. I also get into different divinations. I do, which I'm not going to do in this video, But at the beginning of the video, some of my videos, I will do a divination pull, or with the destiny cards, which is also called cardology, and that's the plain deck of cards that a lot of you are familiar with, which has your hearts, your clubs, your diamonds, and your spades. And then I also do a pull with the tarot cards, and I do a past, present, and a future reading. That's something I pulled from my ancestors. They told me that was they actually just gave me that and said, here, this is the way, you know, you pull your cards, because it actually has to do with the Trinity. And I talk a lot about the Trinity because I'm very, very, very in tune with and feel very connected to the Kabbalistic tree of life and the tree of knowledge, all right, which is the dark side of the tree. And I'm also connected because I'm very connected and curious about all things occult. All right, all things that deal with the metaphysical sciences. All right, so that's just a little bit about me, and well, a little bit about the things that I talk about, I should say, not about me. But so if it's your first time tuning in, I just wanted to let you know that that's really what I focus on. So if your energy is not there, like if that's not something that you are currently interested in doing, then it's okay. Everybody's at a different stage in their life, and if I've learned anything from starting to study numerology, as far as not starting to study, but starting to take a deeper dive into numerology, I really respect where people are. That's why I don't why I don't dislike anybody's channel or video. I just realize whether or not something resonates with me, and I either leave it alone or I take it with me, and I cultivate it to fit, and I cultivate it in order to align with where I am in my spiritual walk. All right, so like I said, I'm going to end the video on that note. I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. I really hope you guys are having a beautiful day, guys. Peace, my loves.